The Origin of Aries. In ancient Greece, a tale of power, betrayal, and divine intervention unfolded. A sacred golden ram then leaped into the currents of fate, forever shaping the stars above. This is not just a story of heroes and gods, it is a legend of betrayal, salvation, and ultimate sacrifice. In the city of Orchomenus in Boeotia, King Athamas was once deeply in love with his first wife, Nephele. Their union was blessed by Zeus himself, for Nephele was a cloud nymph. She bore him 2 children, Phrixus and Helle. But mortal hearts are fickle. Soon, Athamas' heart was captivated by another, Ino, a clever and ambitious mortal princess. Her beauty and cunning words ensnared the king, and Nephele was slowly cast aside. Heartbroken but still loyal, Nephele stayed, until the king married Ino and banished her forever. Nephele had nowhere to go. She returned to the sky, but she could never return home. From a high cliff, she gazed upon the palace where Athamas and Ino now ruled, sorrow filling her heart. And so, her body slowly faded, merging back into the clouds, forever a part of the sky. But Ino was not content with merely being queen, she wanted her own sons to rule. And standing in their way were Phrixus and Helle. In secret, she ordered her servants to burn the fields and poison the wells, plunging the kingdom into a devastating famine. Before long, starving peasants gathered outside the palace, crying out for salvation. With his people starving, King Athamas rushed to the temple, desperate for divine guidance. But little did he know, Ino had already bribed the priests, whispering poison into their ears. They proclaimed a terrifying prophecy. Zeus is furious. Only by sacrificing Prince Phrixus can we appease the gods and restore the harvest. The king's eyes widened in shock, his face turning pale. King Athamas sat upon his throne, his hands clenched into fists, his heart torn apart by anguish. How could I kill my own son? The thought tormented him, yet Ino's voice coiled around him like a serpent. Your Majesty, the people are starving. If you defy the gods, they will bring even greater wrath upon us. She spoke with feigned concern, though a glint of triumph shone in her eyes. The night was deep, and Phrixus and Helle were locked away in the cold, dark cell. Helle clutched her brother's sleeve, her voice shaking, "Are we going to die?" Phrixus whispered, "Don't be afraid, Mother won't abandon us." But in his heart, he feared the worst. Dawn broke, and the sacrifice was about to begin. Phrixus and Helle was dragged onto the cold stone altar. The priest raised a golden dagger, chanting solemn prayers, while Ino smirked, her victory seemingly assured. King Athamas sat with his head bowed, his fists clenched tight. He could not bear to look at his son. The weight of his decision suffocated him. Just as the dagger was about to fall, a blinding golden light tore through the heavens, and from the storm emerged a magnificent golden ram, its wool gleaming like fire. A divine sign. The crowd gasped, falling to their knees. The priest's hands trembled, the dagger slipping, silence consumed the temple. The golden ram landed, lifting the siblings with divine force. "Hold on!" Phrixus cried as Helle clung to him. The ram soared skyward, vanishing into the storm. King Athamas watched in stunned silence, while Ino stood frozen, her face ashen. The golden ram soared over the sea. Helle clung tight. A sudden gust. Her grip slipped, she tumbled into the waves. Helle! Phrixus reached out, but she was already gone. And from that day, the sea was named the Hellespont. Heartbroken, Phrixus gazed at the sea, but the golden ram pressed on, bringing him to Colchis. King Aetes welcomed him and bestowed upon him the golden fleece, a treasure to be guarded for generations. Phrixus offered the golden ram to the gods, and in return, they placed it in the night sky as the constellation Aries. From that day on, Aries became a symbol of heroes, representing courage, resilience, and divine protection. Aries is not just a constellation, it is the mark of the fearless. Fate cannot bind a true warrior. Like Phrixus, those who dare to break their chains will find freedom. Tonight, as you look up at the sky, can you feel that undying courage?